Hey guys, this is Fear the Ghost, and I actually have a battle replay. As you can see down here, also I'm over here. As you can see down here, this is actually an inverse battle. If you do not know what an inverse battle is, basically take everything you know about Pokemon types and completely reverse it, and you'll get what happens. So here, look, this is Cinccino. I use Bullet Seed. Notice how it's super effective against Charizard. Yeah, that's what an inverse battle is. What this inverse battle does, and I turned the color scheme to dark. What the inverse battle does is it takes the Pokemon type chart and basically flips it over. So you will see moves that should be doing nothing do a lot. And I am Skill Link. So he faints. He goes into Blastoise. I guess he's not really used to the tier. Also, you'll notice that my item happens to be missing from my Shedinja. I do get killed with an Aura Sphere. And I forgot to focus sash, so I come into this. He hits me with an Aura Sphere. I guess he wasn't paying enough attention whenever he went to Inverse Battle 101 and can't figure out that it's not a good idea to go for a fighting type move against a normal type in this certain tier. And my Ice Punch manages to kill his Blastoise. Also, I switch into Scizor. I knew I wasn't going to survive that because I actually am 4 times weak to it as a steel bug type. And I don't even know why he went for it against my Conkeldurr, because my Conkeldurr resists Psychic, so that's why I'm trying to figure out what this guy's doing. I do send in Greninja. I go for the extra sensory, which is Psychic type move, and take him out. I actually go for Scald here, and he goes for Thunder for some random reason. I just go for Scald again. I do get the burn. He does finish me off with the other Thunder. As you can see, I resist it. And he goes out into Zygarde. I go out into Umbreon. I am a physically defensive Umbreon, so I'm able to take anything he wants to do fairly well, especially that extreme speed. He does decide to try and hit me on the special side with a Draco Meteor. He does land a Toxic himself. I do go for the foul play. He hits me with a Draco Meteor, and I actually go for the Heal Bell. As I said, this is a defensive Umbreon, and I do run Heal Bell because status moves tend to really hurt it. He does go into Absol. He goes for Body Slam. I really don't know why he went for Body Slam, considering Darkest Stab and happens to actually be super effective against other dark types in inverse battle. And he just leaves. I think he wasn't paying enough attention. I think he may not have actually been sure what an inverse battle is and was just confused the entire time, trying to play how you usually would. But anyway, let's move our little capture box over here and go over here. Now I want to kind of show you guys what my team looks like. This is my inverse battle team. I have the Choice Scarf Cinccino with Tail Slap, Bullet Seed, Rock Blast, and Return. Also, normal type moves are especially good in this tier, as well as normal types themselves, because well, not this tier, but in the format, inverse battles, what happens is only Ghosts is super effective against it. They're super effective against Ghost and Fighting, and they resist Fighting type moves, but are normally affected by everything else. Now, oh, that's right, I put safety goggles on Shedinja. Also, I didn't expect him to go for a Fighting type move because, well, I'm a normal type. In inverse battles, I resist the Fighting type move. So I have no idea why he went for it. I think he would have figured out that something was wrong with the type matchups whenever I killed this Charizard with Bullet Seed. But apparently people can't pay enough attention to stuff like that. Because he played really bad. I guess maybe he just, well, I will admit, I did have this type chart over here open up the entire time, but that was because it was my first inverse battle. So I did have that up the entire time. Next up I have Scizor. Mega Scizor. He has Technician, Bullet Punch, Bug Bite, Knockoff, and Roost. He's a bulky Scizor, but he's not a defensive, really. Excuse me. Next up I have Life Orb, Greninja, Protean, Dark Pulse, Extrasensory, Scald, and U-Turn. Now, I actually had a really funny thing where I was going up against a person doing inverse battle. This was long before I made this team, but I was still using a U-Turn Greninja with Life Orb with the same spread. He thought that it would be funny, or he wasn't paying enough attention, I guess. He has Ho-Oh on the field. I'm faster than it because I'm max speed with speed boosting nature, and he's not like scarfed or anything. I go for the U-turn. I told him before about how I carry U-turn on this thing. I guess he wasn't thinking about the fact I had U-turn, because whenever I hit it, it dealt enough damage that I was able to take it out with a Bullet Punch from Scizor. This is actually fairly similar to an OU team I used to use back before. Oh gosh, I actually deleted it because it was really bad after Pokebank opened up. But I used to use Scizor and Greninja on it, and it killed his Ho-Oh. Yeah, I bet you're wondering, why does he have Ho-Oh if Pokebank wasn't out yet? Well, he hacks Pokemon. That's what he does. I don't get any hacked Pokemon from him. I've asked. He said that the only way I could get one from him would be if I had something he was looking for, which, as I never have, I've never gotten a Pokemon from him. It's really hard to find anything he actually wants because he can get most of it for his Pokemon anyway, so by the time I get to a point where I can get anything for him, he's already gotten it all. But anyway, that kind of salt aside. I do have Shedinja. It has Confuse, Return, Shadow Sneak, and Swords Dance. I do have the safety goggles. I'm pretty sure he actually has one or two more weaknesses than he did before. But in inverse battle, it can sometimes be hard to remember what the weaknesses are. So hitting him is sometimes an issue for people who haven't been playing it for very long. Conkeldurr has Drain Punch, Ice Punch, Knockoff, and I'm running the Giga Impact. Now, I bet for a lot of people that seems crazy, but in this, there's nothing that is immune to normal type moves, and a Choice Banded Giga Impact, especially if I get some sort of status on him, Choice Banded Guts boosted Giga Impact from this Conkeldurr hurts. I've seen it before. I didn't personally do it, but I was watching a friend's battle because he said, hey, come watch me. So I did. He was playing an inverse battle, and I watched his Choice Banded Conkeldurr take out, I don't even remember what it took out. But it took out a physically defensive Pokemon in a single blow. Just wiped it off the face of the earth. But I do have the Umbreon. Its ability is Synchronize. If you don't know what that is, it's the reason why my opponent got paralyzed whenever he used Body Slam on me. Because it gives any status condition inflicted to me to him. Now, even honestly, even if he did kill me on the next turn, like if I'd gone for like Wish or something and he killed me on the next turn, I would have still been able to come in with Conkeldurr. Conkeldurr would have been faster due to the paralysis, or I believe he would have been faster, and I would have been able to take him out with a single Choice Banded knockoff. Now, the reason why I run Choice Band and not Life Orb is because Life Orb's on Greninja. I did think about doing Assault Vest, and I am thinking I still may put Assault Vest on him. In fact, while I'm thinking about it, I am going to put Assault Vest on. Now, why I was thinking Shedinja did not have his item was the fact that I was originally going to put Focus Sash on him. Then I thought about it and decided, well, there's a lot of people, if they can't remember what's supposed to kill them, since it's an inverse battle, will just go for a status condition. Well, if Safety Goggles is protecting him, well, it only protects him from weather and powder moves. So actually Focus Sash is probably going to be better. So I am going to run the Focus Sash. The inverse battle is really confusing. Like, I'll show you guys next time. I'm going to practice with it a little more before I really start making it any sort of a common thing for me to put up on my channel. But I think that for a first battle, I didn't do too terribly badly. I may have consulted the type chart I had open every other turn or so, but this is my own original team. I'm probably going to change it up a lot. But currently this is what I have. I have taken a couple of examples from other people who I've seen doing inverse battles. But other than that, this is mostly just my team that I chose to do. And I hope you guys like it. I hope you guys like these inverse battles. They're not really complicated. You just have to get used to them. Like, most people have, their main issue is dealing damage, in all honesty. Like, you saw that Blastoise was trying to Aura Sphere my Gingina. Well, I resist Aura Sphere, so there was no reason for him to try and hit me with that, rather than a neutral move, especially Stab, like Scald, or whatever he used afterwards. So, he had no reason to go for Aura Sphere. He apparently thought he was going to deal more damage. As I said, a lot of people have issues basically remembering they're in an inverse battle and playing that way. Like, okay, he tried to use Thunder on my Greninja because I don't even know why. I hit him with Scald. You saw I resisted his Thunder. I think he was probably Spexed, and that's why he did so much. Or he may not have been Spexed, but I think he was Choice, or he would have probably gone for something else. But I did hit him with Scald. I did get the burn, which was nice. It's the only reason I killed it at that time. But I think that people are confused. I think people easily get confused in inverse battles. I haven't been playing them very much, but I see a lot of misplays, mostly caused to using a move you would usually use on a Pokemon of that type, such as someone trying to use Ice Beam on Gliscor, which is 4 times resisted because it's inverse battle. He 4 times resists ice in that, rather than being weak to it. So actually Flying Dragon is quite a good typing. Not gonna lie, although you do take 4 times damage from grass. But anyway, that's gonna be something you guys can see if I make this a thing later. So, I hope you guys have a good time, and go try some inverse battles yourselves.